All right, everybody, welcome back. Ready to dive in?
Always.
Well, today we're going to be looking at the U.S. election. Coming up fast, right?
Yeah, November's just around the corner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of talk out there, a lot of speculation, a lot of different opinions. But we came across this really interesting piece.
Oh, yeah, this one's fascinating.
It's called, get this, Donald Trump Cosmopolis.txt.
All right, first of all.
I know. Misspelling in the title.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Definitely caught our attention.
Makes you wonder.
Right, like what's going on here?
Yeah.
But here's the other thing. It's in Spanish. So we're already starting off with some questions,
Yeah, who is this written for?
Exactly. What's the audience?
Yeah.
What kind of perspective are we going to get here?
And what does that tell us about how they view the election?
Okay, so let's get into it.
Let's dive in.
So one of the first things that really jumped out at us is this piece is saying that Trump could actually win.
Yeah, which a lot of people are kind of dismissing, I think.
Right. Like the conventional wisdom is, not so much.
Yeah.
But this piece is saying, hold on, not so fast. It even goes so far as to say that Kamala Harris joining the race
interesting.
was a direct response to worries that Biden wouldn't be strong enough to go up against Trump.
Okay, so they're setting up this narrative that maybe the Democrats are a little worried.
A little bit. And they're pointing to some recent polls
Oh, okay.
that show Trump gaining some ground.
Interesting.
Now, polls are polls.
Right.
You got to take them with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But it's definitely interesting that they're highlighting this idea that this is not a done deal.
Yeah, could be closer than people think.
Exactly.
Okay.
So then it gets even more interesting.
All right, how so?
Because they start comparing a potential Harris presidency versus a potential Trump presidency.
Okay, yeah, lay that out for me.
And they're saying with Harris, it's probably going to be a lot like Biden.
So, more of the same.
Kind of a continuation.
Yeah, continuing the status quo.
Exactly. But with Trump,
Uh-oh.
hold on tight, because they're saying, this could be his last hurrah.
It very well could be.
Right. And if that's the case, he might be thinking, all right, I got to get stuff done.
Oh, so he's going to be going big.
Going big, going bold, maybe even a little
radical.
Maybe a little radical, yeah. Like doubling down on some of his most, well-known policies.
The ones that people already have strong feelings about.
The ones that get people talking, for sure. Things like trade and immigration, maybe pulling out of international agreements, stuff like that. And they also speculate that he might take a more aggressive stance globally.
Okay, so we've got domestic policy and foreign policy, and they're both kind of like, hold on, this could be big.
Yeah.
So for everybody listening out there, think about what that means for you.
That's a good point. It's not just about what happens in the U.S.
Right. This isn't just about Americans.
This source really emphasizes that a Trump victory could, send shockwaves across the world.
Yeah, they really highlight the global implications.
And it kind of makes you think, wow, okay, this election, it matters. It matters on a big scale. And they even ask, directly, what might happen if Trump wins?
It's like they're speaking right to you, the reader, which in this case is you, the listener.
Yeah. It's a call to really think about this,
And consider all the possibilities.
Exactly. What could the ripple effects be?
They specifically mention, for instance, trade wars. Think about that. What happens if Trump slaps on more tariffs?
Yeah, that's going to affect global markets. It's going to affect, the prices of things.
It could hit your wallet directly.
And it's not just trade, right? Think about international relations.
Alliances, partnerships, all of that could be up in the air.
And it all comes down to November 5th.
That's the date, folks. Circle it on your calendars.
That's what this piece is really emphasizing. This is a potential turning point.
A before and after moment.
Not just for the U.S., but for the whole world.
Wow.
So let's recap a bit.
Yeah, let's bring it all together.
We've got this piece written in Spanish. We don't know who it's for exactly, but it's predicting a possible Trump victory.
And it's saying that a Trump presidency would look drastically different from a Harris presidency.
Yeah, more the same versus who knows.
And it really drives home that the outcome of this election could have massive global consequences.
Food for thought, right.
Big time. It makes me wonder, how would different countries react if Trump actually wins?
Oh, that's interesting.
Like, what would other world leaders do? What kind of policies would they put in place in response?
Yeah, what would the global, like, power dynamics look like?
Exactly. Lots to think about.
Definitely a lot to think about.
Ah,
All right, well, on that note,
stay curious.
stay engaged, and we'll catch you next time.
See you then.